A Bay Area woman says a local building department approved a permit for her to put a two-story shed on her property. Now they say the shed was built on city property and it has to be moved. Thanks for joining us for 10 Tampa Bay This Weekend. I'm Miranda Parnell. Now the city says it's all a part of their alley improvement project. And 10 Investigates Jennifer Titus has been digging into this story for us. And Jen, the homeowner doesn't really have a choice here.
Well, the city says they've come out and have done 2 different site surveys on the property, all while the property owner says she's been paying property taxes for the square footage she's being told is not really hers.
For 26 years back here making this paradise.
Terry Malik has spent the past
Oh my goodness.
25 years
Avocados, papayas.
turning her backyard
This is a cherry.
into an oasis.
They're called beauty berries.
In 2015, she decided to build this 2-story shed.
I put the proposal in and they filed it 10-7.
New Port Richey's building department signing off on a permit for the structure.
Here's where they come out, location and tie down.
She didn't think much of it, especially since the location of the shed was on her property. So she thought.
Duct tape to my front door.
In February of 2023, Terry says she received this letter saying that her fence and shed were on city property.
Your shed has to be relocated.
And that if the items were not moved, she could face code enforcement fines.
I don't think he knew. I didn't come and tell him.
Her husband, who loved the backyard as much as her, died the next day.
And we did his funeral and then they came back again and gave me another letter.
City manager Debbie Mann says back in 2021, council decided to reclaim the alleys around the city, something Mann's admit hasn't been touched in years.
The first things we need to do before we institute any real alley improvements is remove any private property that is currently on public property.
She says they did that by surveying alleys around the city. That's when they realized Malik had a fence and building on their property.
She also has a shed that is located on city property.
A shed we told her was approved by the city's building department.
The building department representative that signed a permit doesn't have the authority to give away city property just by signature of saying you can establish a permit.
She says surveys are not required for something like this. There are also no surveys when it comes to installing a fence.
So you just assume that it's the person's property?
Yeah.
Okay, so in this case, it was just assumed that that was her property,
Yeah.
and so it got signed off on.
Which is why she says after seeing Terry's shed, the city performed another site survey to make sure it was in fact their property. They say they've done their due diligence.
We will give her 90 days to remove that. And then if we need to talk to her some more, we don't have any immediate plans for the alley. I want to be as fair as we can.
I mean, there's probably 8 fruit trees just in this back 10 feet.
Terry just doesn't understand how it's gotten here.
I don't get it. It's like, what do they want with it? It doesn't go anywhere. It's a dead end.
The city says there are around 15 alleys a part of this improvement project. They've spent the past couple of years doing the site surveys and say they do have other properties that are also encroaching onto their alleys. They will soon set up neighborhood meetings to figure out what they think will be the best use for the alley. Mans did tell us that if Malik is paying property tax for that extra feet, they will go with her to the tax assessor's office and get that fixed. But Malik plans on speaking about this at the next city council meeting in hopes she does not have to move her property. Jennifer Titus, 10 Investigates.